go again. Let's do a nice little reflection here and see what we can do with an equation that looks horrible. Oh my goodness, what was I thinking of when I saw this equation? Well, I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we're up for the challenge. Remember replacement. Replacement just means you're going to take the x and you're going to replace it with negative x. So look how this function looks here. Aha! Check it out. You're going to take a negative x, you're going to put it there, it's going to be squared. You're going to put a negative x in the bottom, you're going to square it, plus 1. So in a matter of fact, this guy, if you're going to reflect it, again, what this means horizontally, you get basically the same equation right back. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Take a look at this one where we're going to reflect it horizontally and vertically. Now, I like to remember to put this over on this side. So this becomes negative y equals to f of negative x. And if I technically wanted to show all of the transformations that I'm going to put in here, I'm going to use replacement. I'm going to change this to a y. I'm going to change that guy to negative y. I'm going to change that guy here to negative x. And let's see what happens. So this becomes negative y equals to negative x squared over negative x plus 1. Okay, and then I'm going to throw this together to find out that this guy actually becomes y equals to, there's our x squared over x squared. Oops, I forgot the squared on the bottom here. Whoa, just about had to redo this podcast. X squared plus 1, but don't forget, by bringing this negative over, changes the sign of everything here. So a simple way of looking at this would be just to put this down as y equals to negative x squared over x squared plus 1. We don't change both sides, the numerator and the denominator, because suddenly it's just going to look awful, and a negative over a negative, of course, makes a positive, and it doesn't change anything at all. Okay, so I know what you're thinking here. Wait a second. Can we not draw this a little bit differently? Well, absolutely you can. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the technology. I got x squared over x squared plus 1. I just happen to have my calculator right here. So here we go. X squared. Now wait a second. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Wouldn't it be nice to just put it in the calculator so it looks like this, so we don't have to put all those crazy brackets all over everything? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how to do that right here, right now. Check this out. This is worth the price of the podcast right here. Go to this alpha button right here. And if you look, that alpha button opens up a whole bunch of neat things. It opens up all of these functions up here. F1, F2, F3, F4, and finally F5. That's what that opens up. So by hitting alpha like this, I'm going to hit alpha F1. And look what comes up. What comes up is a fraction. N over D, numerator over denominator, and I'm going to choose that. Watch this. Look at that. There's my fraction, numerator over denominator. And if you remember, according to this, it was x squared over x squared plus 1. Let's put that in there. Watch. X squared over x squared plus 1. And let's graph this guy. Look at that. Isn't that wild? It looks identical to what I had here. Look, it looks identical. It's beautiful. Excellent. Oh, is that going to save us time? Okay, let's graph. Let's see what it looks like. Oh my gotcha. That looks weird. Now, do you remember how when we flipped this horizontally, we got the same crazy graph back? Why is that? Why did we get the exact same graph back? Because look, horizontally, if I flip this to this side, wouldn't I just get the same graph right back? So horizontally, there is no change. Interesting. Fascinating. All right, so let's graph this right here. So I'm going to have a graph that's going to go out like this. Get very close to 1. I'm going to get a graph that gets very, very close to 1. And there's my little seagull. Okay? Looks like a seagull, right? Arr, arr. Okay, fine. Right. Now, let's see what this looks like. If we think about it, how is this going to look like if we reflect it vertically? Well, wouldn't this give us something that looks like this over something that looks like this? Well, actually, let's go out and put it into our calculator and find out why. Because remember, all we needed to do is put a negative in front of it. Okay, here we go. Let's go to our calculator. Let's erase this line here so we got a nice clean graph. Here we go. Y equals 2. Boom. Let's put in the alpha 1, numerator over denominator. Oh, what just a delightful way of doing things. Minus x squared over x squared plus 1. Okay, keep our fingers crossed that this does a vertical reflection like we planned it to. Okay, ready? Here we go. Punk. Oh, it did. Oh my goodness, there's our vertical reflection. Wow, look how that turned out. How beautiful is that? Exactly as we predicted right here. Well, wait for the next podcast. I'm going to show you something that's absolutely amazing with your TI calculator. Woo!